Humans need to be loved. They need to feel worthy, to feel they're accepted by their parents, to be supported by their peers, to live with their desired partner, and to have successful social relationships. All these needs are threatened when a person is excluded from the group. In fact, all human beings are naturally afraid of negative evaluations and judgments by their peers. It can cause us many problems if it turns into an incompatible state, and in the end, social anxiety disorder will rear its ugly head. In about 400 BC, Hippocrates described a person who is very fond of darkness and cannot tolerate light at all. Their hat covers the eyes and face, and they think everyone around is looking at them, and they are attacked and ridiculed by people. This saying of Hippocrates is probably the first concept that we can link to social anxiety. According to the definition of the American Psychiatric Association, social anxiety disorder is a conspicuous fear or anxiety of one or more social situations in which the person feels that they are scrutinized or are in plain sight. Situations in which these anxieties and fears may be experienced include talking with strangers and unfamiliar people, giving a speech in front of an audience, eating or drinking in public, attending a party, starting or continuing a conversation, and interacting with the source of authority such as professors, bosses, or directors. In such situations, people who suffer from social anxiety experience prominent signs of anxiety such as heart palpitation, blushing, sweating, coldness of hands, restlessness, shaky voice, and things like that. These people do not want others to notice their anxiety at all. That is, they fear that if others notice the signs of their anxiety, they will be evaluated negatively. For example, they will be humiliated or excluded by others. Sufferers constantly worry about being seen as weak, anxious, timid, crazy, boring, or ugly by others. Some of these people are constantly worried that they might upset others and therefore be excluded by them. The anxiety of sufferers is to the extent that their performance is disrupted. In other words, socially anxious people either avoid anxiogenic situations or tolerate them. For example, a person who is afraid of palm sweating may not shake hands with anyone. Similarly, another person may avoid attending social situations because of the severe anxiety they get from being in public. As an example, they no longer want to go to school or attend gatherings and parties. Perhaps we all get anxious in the referred situations. You may have experienced this anxiety when the teacher asked you questions in class. However, this anxiety is normally not too much to disrupt our performance. In fact, situations such as classrooms, parties, conferences, and social situations like this are not too anxiogenic to make us avoid attending these gatherings. Now, to understand clearly, it is better to get acquainted with the definition of phobia. Phobia means severe anxiety or fear of a specific situation or object in which the anxiety and fear are not compatible with the desired situation. For example, the fear of facing an animal such as a tiger seems to be natural, but it does not seem suitable for the situation if the same level of fear is experienced when a small cat passes by. Social situations are the same for sufferers of social anxiety disorder, and it is safe to say that they experience an equal level of anxiety and fear in social situations as they would when they encounter a tiger. This is why social anxiety disorder is also called social phobia. We can say a person suffers from social anxiety disorder when the intense and inappropriate levels of fear and anxiety last continuously for 6 months, are experienced in almost all social situations, and disrupt a person's job, academic, or social performance. According to the evidence, the average age of onset of this disorder is normally adolescence, but there is a probability of having the disorder at any age. So, if it's been a while since we feel we have experienced high levels of anxiety in almost all social situations, if we have avoided attending these situations, or if the anxiety we have experienced is unreasonably higher than required, and our performance has been disrupted because of it, maybe it's time to share with a qualified therapist.